Jeremiah 17:5 says, "Cursed is the one who trusts in man, but blessed is the one who trusts in the Lord." Let's talk about it. I don't lean on man, I lean on the rock. Psalms 108, that's my solid block. It is better to trust in the Lord, word for word, than to put my hope in people. That's what I heard. Isaiah 55:11, his word don't fail. Every promise he speaks can't prevail. Now man-made plans or opinions.
Umeanzisha? Okay guys, so welcome to this life saga TV and sometimes edutainment for us. It just depends on where I decide to post, because here we learn, we entertain ourselves, we, there's all that mixture, but we are in Kenya. Why not talk about the aspect of Kenya? So guys, Oscar Sudi has now proved to the world that it is education versus money. According to him, you don't have to have so much education. What matters is the money you have, and it gives you the network that is worth it. Now, I'm even coughing because of that. So those people who don't have money, we are being reminded that it's not about our education. It's not about, whatever it is, it's about the network. Now, do you think this is about Ruto and the opposition? Ruto and Gachagua? Now, I've been asking myself, and I looked at this latest initiative they are calling economic empowerment, and I was looking at it as, is it economic empowerment versus economic degradation? Now, I compared the three incidences of Kapseret, Machakos, and Mwingi sides, Kitui, and all that. And I was like, okay, what a difference! A shouting difference! Because when you look at Rift Valley, do you know what happened? At Kapseret constituency, 45 million. 45 million was poured on the ground. And we saw actually the clear indication of what it means by when people go into government. No wonder in Kenya people are fighting for presidential position. And when one goes there, they don't want to leave. I wonder what happened during the Moi time. What much did he do for his people compared to other places? Now, we have had another term where we had Kibaki, then we had Uhuru Kenyatta. And remember, Kenyatta the former was there. Now, currently, we are having Ruto. So, two societies that are growing as others degrade. That is my view. I'll not mind whatever comments you'll put down there, because it's according to you, but this is according to me. So I just looked at these three ceremonies that were running, and of course, the soprano king, the soprano king, Kithure Kindiki, was sent to Machakos. And do you know actually what happened in Machakos? 2.5 million.
Tuharakishe tupate stima, kila mtu apate stima. Wacha niulize tena, munakubalia Mwalio na mimi twende tukatafute rais ndio amrishe hiyo stima iongezwe kabla hajakuja hapa iwe imeongezwa?
So of course you hear from that speech Kindiki reminding the people at Machakos that will they have Mwala continuing making noise? Will they allow him to go running around? Or are they going to ensure that power is brought to them? And do you know what he told the people? That they send him to go talk to the president so that power is installed in their constituency. Can you imagine that? What a game. What a joke. Yeah? Because they had indicated as if that money was little. 2.5 million was not enough to ensure that everybody has power. Now, I want you to compare that to what happened at Kapseret. And this is actually what happened in Kapseret. Let's look at it. Now, what happened to Kapseret is that people got actual empowerment, what everyone else wants. Let's say the portion meals, if you want the portion meal, if you want a blow dryer, if you want, you know, the real machines were there, including, I saw the cans, the milk cans. I also saw, what else? Motorbikes. Why was I forgetting that? I saw motorbikes. Yeah, and of course this has stirred a lot of reactions from even the TikTokers and people who are just vocal. And I was thinking at this and saying, okay, so is this education versus money? And Sudi came out clearly talking about what it means to be connected. Now let's first begin with the reactions. I'll just put
the next day
few of them, two in fact there, the ones that I really met.
Watu wa
So
Mount
let's
Kenya,
look at this
sasa nyinyi
reaction.
ndio mmekosa adabu kabisa wa MPs. Mnapanga line the whole day. Mnapangisha watu wanyu line the whole day. Kuwape maharagwe gorogoro moja enye haivi. Wengine niliona huko Kangema, sijui ni Kangema Murang'a wapi. Wanapoa viberiti vijana. Sijui wanataka wavute bangi wakufe.
So I won't play it
And
now because
hapa
actually that
tuko
was
na
a reaction
Ruto
from one guy
anapeleka
that was saying that the leaders of
clear empowerment.
Kenya are cows. I don't know. I don't know. Do you agree that they are cows? Just comment below. Looking at the leaders from there, the MPs, the MCAs and all that, are they really cows? You know, it has happened that for the first time Mount Kenya has become silent. You know, like you remember in past they used to stand as one, but that is no longer the issue. In fact, we saw during the Uhuru Kenyatta's time, people are not standing with him when he reached the second term. Yeah, the second term we didn't see a lot of people supporting him. Instead, they were just quiet when he was being attacked. Yeah, even when he's what was this? The goats that were stolen at once in his farm. Nobody was there to talk for him, you know. They just kept quiet. And so I'm wondering, have the Mount Kenya people become like the Western people? And don't say that I'm saying that because that is a stereotype. No, it is real. You know, Western has had a problem for a long time. People calling themselves by the sub-tribes and all that sub-clans. So there is lack of this aspect of unity that would pull them together. And I don't know whether Mount Kenya will continue to be what they used to think, they are blanket and defend each other and all that. I do not know. But that one, they are proven as wrong. Because in past they used to call themselves Mount Kenya, Mount Kenya, Mount Kenya. Now we have seen, of course, Gachagua talking about the reality of what their leaders are. I don't know where he got the guts, because he has been in government, and I don't know, as I've asked you, is he acting out of revenge? Is he talking out of truth? Or is he talking? Yeah, so I was asking, is he actually being truthful in his information? Yeah, just see what he said.
Kufanya kazi. Vijana yetu anampatia pesa, muwapatie watupe mawe. Nyinyi ni wajinga kiasi gani? How foolish are you, members of parliament from this region? William Ruto is laughing at you. The people from his community, he takes them to the military, to the police, to NYS, to KRA. Lakini watoto wa mlima, chukueni, wapatie pesa, watupe mawe. Wapige viongozi yao. Wakimaliza na hiyo kupigana, wachukue hiyo pesa wakakunywa nini?
So Gachagua was there talking about the leaders of Mount Kenya. And they are allowing the young men to be given stones to throw at their leaders and, you know, do all the kind of shit that is destroying their Mount Kenya region at the expense of, you know, their peace. Whereas on the other side, Rift Valley, they are growing. In fact, I saw one reaction. Kenya has very, you know, people were very vigilant. And so one of the leaders was like, not one leader, but one reactionist was like, are you seeing how Mount Kenya is, whatever is happening here? Let me just put here this program so what people are thinking out there.
And it left me wondering. I don't know whether mumeona zile vitu empowerment yenye inafanywa huko. Hiyo ndio sasa tunaita real empowerment. I've seen motorbikes, nimeona bisiagi, nimeona tanks, I've seen vitu za saloon, mabroadway na nini. Watu wa mlima.
Guys, so
angalia hawa, na ndio maana Rigiji akisema tulichagua wajinga watupu.
Mimi nakubaliana na yeye. Tulichagua ng'ombe. Togege. Yaani sisi tunaenda kupatiwa viberiti. Tunakuja kupatiwa maharagwe yenye hata hivi, sijui ni roskoko sijui ni gani. Tunarudi tunapatiwa mchele zingine zinafura. Michele zinafura. Alafu unaangalia, alafu wanarudi wanapatiwa 200 na MP wenyu wanakubali, na saa hizo ni deputy president anakuja. Alafu you have another group of stupid people, musicians, wanakuja sijui influencers sijui nini, wanakuja huku sijui kuwatumbuiza nini, wanalipwa 50,000, nyinyi mnakuja mnapewa maharagwe yenye hivi nani.
Now remember, there has been a saga that happened. I will put it another another compilation that I will be doing on life sagas because of Kiunjuri or Kimburi, that man. But meanwhile, did you see that when we were looking at what was happening at Kapsaret, it was like Oscar Sudi had called his friends who are very popular. He knows them, people like he had molded at some point, because they say he's a grade standard 4 or whatever. But you can see actually that he understands how to manipulate people. And I'm very sure by now, if you go talk to anyone in Kapsaret against Ruto, you won't win it. You won't. Be sure of that. You won't win it at all. Because now these people have come up with this initiative, and of course they wanted to show the world the difference between Rift Valley. Yeah, they wanted to show the people the difference between Rift Valley and other places. And they targeted Ukambani, where we are seeing our vocal man, Kalonzo Musyoka, who was once called Watermelon. They have decided to show him dust. So whatever was given, can you equate 45 million against 2.5 million in Machakos? Yeah? So this man was mentioning these people like business people. I even saw a white, was it an Indian or white business person or Arabic? I don't know. He was even calling Alima from Ravine, Kokorek or something like that, 200,000, Kinengi, I don't know, with 100,000. There was someone from South Africa with how much, Sonko, Devi, Chemeli, yeah? So all those people involved in this contribution, and they raised a lot of money. Now compare that to the contribution which was being conducted at Machakos. Now Oscar Sudi had all the audacity to even talk a lot of shit in this discussion. He was openly accusing or abusing the leaders of Mount Kenya, including Gachagua himself. And I don't like this kind of signals that were being shown. And then my question was, why was Badi there? Why was he there? If this money has not come from he was saying not from government, but you saw the line of people behind him. Just look at this.
Sijui mitungi ya maziwa, sijui nini, ati William Ruto ametumana hapa. Nataka niambie wewe Rigiji, ujinga mimi usinilete, pelekea watu wengine. Mimi nimefanya kazi kwa miaka mingi. Wewe ulishinda ukaa kwa serikali, ulishinda kutafuta marafiki. Hiyo mranga unaongea hapo penye unaongea sijui, wewe umepea nini hao watu? Kazi yako kila siku ni kuamka na kuhara kwa mdomo yako. Unahara kwa mdomo yako. Hakuna siku unapanga mambo ya maendeleo. Ulikuwa kwa uongozi kwa mwaka 2. Utuoneshe toilet tulijenga huko Maundi.
Economic empowerment against economic embarrassment. Yeah, 45 million against 2.5 million. Now let's get to Mwingi, where Wetangula, the speaker, was. And it is the same program, remember, in the name of economic empowerment. So it's like you empower people based on where you come from. And when you look at the comments, when this video was running on Citizen and TV and whatever, people are like, they are returning what they have looted from Citizen. That is our money. Others were like, yeah, smart people who know how to steal. We don't know how true this is, but I don't know how somebody can manage to get just so much money and go take to a place. He was saying he was just with 3 leaders, and that's how he managed to have that money. And from this video that you can see from the other fella, he indicated that that money is not even for Wetangula. I had mentioned about Wetangula in Kitui, Mwingi, Kitui, and all those places, Migwani. And of course, we saw the people there celebrating, talking in Kikamba, of course, assuring their people that they should follow, the government, because it is it which is working. And of course, here the narrative was on power again. Power, I don't know, they mentioned roads, something like that. And the money that was contributed was 3 million. And you can see Wetangula briefly speaking here.
Ananipeanga hata atawaambia saa hii. Kwa hivyo speaker, I really appreciate you. Mimi nakuombea Mungu aendelee kukulinda. Mambo ya stima, mambo ya maji, mambo ya elimu, mambo ya matibabu kwa wananchi, mambo ya usalama,
so it's quite funny that
mambo ya mazingara na mambo yote ambayo yanatuhusu sisi zote.
Kapsaret 45 million. So they are coming to a place next. How much will they raise? What economic empowerment are they going to give? So in the forthcoming years, let me say 2 years, who will be better? The people given 3 million, 2.5 million, or 45 million in form of assets. Who will be better? Just ask yourself. So this is Kenya for education versus money and network. And of course, Sudi came out clearly sharing that. Now, I was just imagining the aspect of Farouk and what has been happening against maybe people like Kimani Ichung'wah and the rest of the leaders, And I was thinking about people like Waititu who have ever been in government, Mike Sonko, and this, the Mfalme of Mombasa. And I was like, okay, so the current generation is about money versus education, or rather network versus